What's up? Welcome to Bread Brothers. We're back again and we're talking about NFTs. We're here with my man, Tony. Super exciting. Today's NFT topic, or specific NFT that we're going to talk about, is the Metakey. I know we've been mentioning about the Metakey, but why the Metakey, Tony? Tony, how excited are you about the Metakey?
Oh, this is one of the first projects I actually fell in love with because I missed on. I watched the first editions go by me, yep. And then it obviously pumped in price, and I thought, oh geez, I don't want to get in too late, but it just didn't go down in price. And then we obviously heard about the Metakey 4 edition coming up, and I just couldn't help myself. Fantastic. So aped straight into that one.
It's interesting, with some projects that they just pump and you can't enter, that level again. We probably saw it at 0.25 and then it just rocketed. But the great thing about the Metakey was the fact that they've allowed different levels of entry, edition 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's kind of allowing everyone to tap into their services.
Yeah, there's a few things the way the Metakey works. They've got 4 different editions of their Metakey, which gives you access throughout the metaverse.
Yeah.
And they've got something called the Metakrew, which is only something that's just recently released, which is a little bit like, but not the same as Clone X, where it is a utility-based avatar that you get to have something to represent yourself in the digital world.
Yeah.
But if you own the first 3 editions, which are known as the Genesis editions, you're what's called a master key holder. Bit of a flex.
Yeah.
They're not they're not cheap to get into, but it's definitely something that you want to hold. So if you're the kind of guy that's got a vault, you want to throw any one of these 3 Metakey editions straight into that vault. One of those things that you just leave in there, don't touch, look at it again in 2 years' time.
It's interesting you say about the vault, and that's I'm going to say from an investor perspective, and you know how a lot of people who do follow us regularly know that I've got the investor mentality when I'm kind of investing into NFTs. The Metakey for me is just, it ticks the right boxes, and this is not being biased and just being honest here. I am an investor of the Metakey myself, so I've got a couple of Metakeys myself. But the reason why I invested, and I'll tell the specific reasons, but the main reason why I invested is it's just got a lot of utility. It's probably one of the blue chip NFTs in regards to the utility. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of people say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But these guys are actually doing all those things, Tony. They've got so much. Yeah.
I have to jump in because I'll firstly just cap off. I'm one of the most disappointed investors when it comes to not picking up Decentraland, because for ages I fell in love with the idea of, Ready Player One being able to, exist in the metaverse, and we know that Web3 is going to take us to a place where we're going to care about our digital identity more than what we care about what's happening in the real world. Because I would argue that we live as much, if not more, within the internet than we do in real life with just our mobile phones, and that's Web 2.
100%.
And one of the cool things that Metakey is doing is it's one of the architects of the future for us, and it might not seem that way just from a small scale group, which is actually a pretty big group to be honest, but they own so much land within Decentraland, etc., that they're actually got 3D artists that are building out certain what would you call it? It's for musicians to perform their shows. You obviously
platforms. They're creating platforms for them to, digital platforms.
Have you seen what they've made in Decentraland?
I have. It's amazing. Their headquarters, mate. I'll pop it up on here. Their headquarters in DCL is pretty big. They're probably one of the biggest buyers for Sandbox as well. But the thing about these guys is the accessibility that you get with the Metakey. Now, you're talking about, their concerts and so on. So, but if you are a Metakey holder, you get access to their headquarters in Decentralized. They have an ongoing Sharktank every month that, a lot of people can come in and basically promote their idea or ask for funding. So they support people who have great ideas, and if they truly believe in it, they invest in it themselves too. So it's a win-win situation for both parties.
Who's the investors?
The Metakey.
Right. So actually, I've seen this before where it's actually a Shark Tank layout. It's almost like what you see on TV. We sit down, we pitch our idea, Metakey, their vault, their partners decide that's a great idea, let's do business.
Yeah, man. Look, that's the way I kind of interpret it. You know, that's what, when you think of Shark Tank, that's what it is. So the Metakey would be the investors, or anyone who's watching the videos can say, hey, I actually don't mind investing in that. But the other things that the Metakey gives you access to is something called the Metakademy. The Metakademy is a number of like workshops, like online workshops that people can tap into, which is whether it be creating NFTs or, you know, website development, but that's something that they're providing extra information to. But the last thing is, whenever they have events, you know, you talked about music, right? So they did a Deadmau5 concert. Well, Deadmau5, the DJ, he did a concert in DCL, and the Metakey had a VIP room, well, virtual VIP room, right? So you were able to access that. Yeah.
Any of the keys would have given you granted access for free to enter that concert. That's crazy.
It's really cool. It's really cool. But it doesn't stop there, Tony. And this is where it's just driving me crazy, because it's such a great project, but they don't really promote themselves, Tony. They're going underneath the radar.
I'm surprised by that, because the owner of the Metakey, it's a duo partnership, but Matty's kind of the face of the Metakey, and he's known as the DCL Blogger, and he's been around the space for so long. And he's, I think he fell into the top 5 influencers for NFT on Twitter.
Wow.
And yeah, huge. He's got like 150,000 followers on Twitter alone. So whenever he posts something, it blows up. But it's kind of a humble business, really, because every single business is just so interested in shilling themselves or getting some sort of celebrity to jump on and pump. Like everything, every bit of growth that you're seeing within the Metakey, if this is your first time seeing it, it's organic. It's so organic, and they're just focused on building architecture within the metaverse and bringing utility to the space. So what Ibi was saying before was these keys will grant you access, but you can't attend certain functions without a Metakey, and there's a whole list of them which we can provide later, maybe on the Bread Brothers Twitter account. But
definitely,
yeah, like if you want to get into Deadmau5, you either pay, you can probably pay in ETH, you can pay in US, you can pay in whatever you like. But if you hold a Metakey, you're a VIP. So what they're doing is they're giving you access to certain things that are coming up, and who knows what's coming next.
And that's what I was going to get to next. So the way I'm seeing these guys, there's 2 approaches that I'm kind of seeing, and maybe I might be wrong or maybe wrong, but I believe they're trying to be the main organizers in the metaverse. Like they're trying to hold that niche. You know, if you have a big event coming up, let us build for you. Let us help you promote your work. I believe they're trying to hold that niche market. But then again, the other thing that I see is they're really into the gaming side of things. Like Matty, I know that he's a gamer. He said it many times, he's a gamer himself. Are they building a game, Tony?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
If they're building a game, I'm sorry, I just started thinking as an investor for a second. If I just think of purely as the nerd that I am, I want to be a part of it. What would they use? They would use their own avatars, wouldn't they? The Metakrew.
Yeah. So, and that's the interesting thing. They recently did their own Metakrew drops, which they're called Metakrew NFTs, and they're really cool. Maybe you can show us what they look like.
Let's have a look. I'll just share my screen real quickly.
Yep. But so I believe they mentioned nothing's official, but just the way their structure is, I believe that they can potentially build a game. And then if they build a game, Tony, then your avatars are going to be basically your characters for this game.
Okay, so this is the Metakrew site page, and these are what the Metakrews look like. I love going to the best ones first.
100%. You always the same. I do the same thing when I'm looking at.
Look, that's so cool. I've got a really sad story I have to share with everybody. See this Goku fit right here? This is the suit. I grew up loving Dragon Ball Z more than anybody else. And when I heard that there was going to be a trait that you might have a Super Saiyan haircut, I sold some of mine before reveal, and I only sold 3. And I looked at it afterwards. That guy bought it, revealed it, and he had a Super Saiyan haircut, and he hasn't sold it. I wouldn't have sold it either. But these are the Metakrews anyway, and these are the guys that get to represent yourself within the metaverse. But you're saying there might be a game.
There might be a game. There's nothing. I've been looking at their Twitter account and just having a look. They had a video animation of these characters just standing still and breathing heavily with their weapons in their hands. But it's pretty cool. So 0.27 on the gold spike.
Oh my god! I wish I had it still.
Look at that, man. That's pretty crazy, guys. That's pretty crazy.
Look at the Metakey.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Metakey. What are the floor prices for this?
Well, Ibi, as I was saying before, that the Genesis pieces are the first 3 keys that you're about to see.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the first one you see is the edition 4. Right, so you've got the edition 1 all the way down here, which is valued at 4.2 ETH right now. You've got the edition 2, which we're going to get into a little. Ibi, I'll let you say all the good stuff about the edition 2.
Well, hey, man, this, as I said, this is us just 2 mates hanging out, talking about NFTs. This is not financial advice. So Tony, we can talk about anything we want here. It's just to help the audience make the better decision.
Beautiful. Well, this is the edition 3 and this is the edition 4. The edition 4, the cheapest, and it's the entry level that Ibi was talking about before. Awesome. Now, if you hold those first 3, you become a master key. But one of the most exciting things about the edition 2 is that this edition originally, right, so the Metakey are really close ties with CloneX Artifact Studios, which just got brought out by Nike. But this key here was actually designed by Artifact Studios in their infancy, right? So if you actually owned one of these Metakey Edition 2s, you were able to get the mint toward revealing a CloneX. And yeah, well, anyway, those are the 4 keys, and they all give you access to certain things within the metaverse.
Now, coming back to Metakey 2, Tony. Now, they are affiliated with Artifact Studios. Now, for those who don't know what Artifact Studios is, you're pretty much hiding under a rock. Come out. They're the guys who released CloneX. CloneX is pretty much one of the biggest projects happening at the moment. Artifact Studios was bought out by Nike, and now this is where, and I said this in the last episode too, the investor hat of coming on, right? If Nike bought out Artifact Studios and Metakey did a collab with the Metakey, automatically the Metakey is affiliated with Nike. Whether they want it or not, it's already done deal, Tony. It's a signed deal. The only thing that has to happen now is Matty has to kind of do his magic, connect with Artifact Studios, which will be connected to Nike. And if Nike says, we want to do a massive launch party in the metaverse, who do you reckon they're going to go to, Tony? Who do you reckon they're going to go to?
That's a good point, because Artifact is, they're loyal to each other. They're friends. And they're so close. And Matty was one of the first supporters and bought a lot of their initial work. And
100%.
And I wouldn't say as a reward, but like at the end of the day, it's an official piece of Artifact Studios, which gave you access to their mints. So I wonder what Nike's going to do with that now. So yeah,
and that's what I mean. That's why I'm so excited about this, and that's why I say this project is going underneath the radar, guys. Like, it's going underneath the radar. But coming back to even something I said even earlier about these guys are trying to hold a niche market of organizing events and so on. So if you're affiliated with Nike, and Nike knows we already do a partnership or a collaborative with the Metakey just has to turn around and says, hey Nike, if you want to do an event in the metaverse, let us do it for you. Matty's been saying on his Twitter account, like, we've been hiring, we've been doing this. Is that what they're preparing for, Tony? Is that what they're preparing for the big? Whoa. Is that the special K?
Did you see? Oh, special K. Did you see what he was talking about on his stream earlier today? He was talking about,
actually didn't. Tell me.
Okay, well, I didn't get too deep, because he does streams and he talks about everything. Like we say, he doesn't promote himself too well, but he's talking about Bollywood a lot, and Bolly coins appeared, and he just said he couldn't. The one thing that gets him excited the most, more than anything, is the idea of building an event for the Bollywood guys, the Khans. I think they're called the Khans.
Khans, yeah.
Yeah, like the most famous actors within India. And I mean, they're the most loved people. So he's talking about Bollycoin. Is he talking to Bollywood? It wouldn't surprise me if he was, but that would be a really cool event to go to.
It would. And look, I'm going to be very honest. When you're kind of promoting work and when you get big names underneath your belt, it's the business world. That's how, when you have credibility to deliver event after event after event, what happens is the big guys, they don't want they want people with experience. They want people who've done it before. And these guys are doing it, Tony. That's what I mean. I think they might have Bolly coming up. Bollywood party, here we come.
Yeah, it is a project that's under the radar. Like they got big connections. You know, he's a top 5 influencer. He's working with Artifact Studios, which is just got acquired by Nike. Is he talking to Bollywood? We're about to find out. But he's done work with Deadmau5. I think he's got the resume for it. And you said that he was just hiring more people to help build out their land to hold events for people. Yeah, you know what? If I was Nike, I'd be looking at Metakey straight away.
100%. And look, when I say you made a very valid point there about the resume, having a look at the resume. And then I kind of elaborated by saying, look at what they've done. Now, to add credibility to the Metakey is they've done a lot of partnerships. They've done partnerships with well-known NFT projects, which is like with CyberKong. What else? Big Time Studios, which is a massive game out there, guys.
CyberKong as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's another massive one. NASA. Like you've seen on their avatars itself, they've got the official NASA badge there.
Apollo.
Now, if you have all these, right? If you have all these partnerships and collabs done with big names like this, well-known names, it's just a matter of time where Bollywood, introduced to the metaverse by the Metakey, Nike coming into the metaverse, I think through the Metakey as well, which will be pretty big signature moves, Tony. It will be massive signature moves.
Let me ask you, what's going to happen if Bollywood does jump on with Matty and Matty pulls off this somehow mega deal and starts doing a Holton event to Bollywood? What does this mean for the Metakey? Is this just another building of the resume where he's going to explode later in time? Because that's the way I'm thinking of it right now. That's why I'm putting my Metakeys in the vault. Or does this hit the news, Matty promotes it, and Metakey goes flying again?
Look, I think the Metakey will fly one way or another. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? They're building up their resume. They're organically growing. They've got so much hype. I don't think anything in the near future. So we won't expect like you're looking probably 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line. And if you get in there, Tony, at the right time, and this is the investor hat coming on. We're talking about all these things that they've done, the partnerships that they have. The airdrops, we didn't even talk about the airdrops. They give continuously airdrops to their holders. They gave Vogu jacket airdrops which are wearable in DCL. They get an official F1 wearable in DCL as well. Paper Studio, they did a frog. I don't know if you've got the frog.
I like that frog. I'm not selling him.
Well, here's another little thing that people don't know about. Here's another small little information. And I was looking this up, and you and I will probably know about this now. You know DreamWorks, right?
Yep.
From the animation. So Paper Studio is, I believe, the creative director of Animation Studios, which is another big name.
Well, that's kind of why I didn't want to sell it, because it went for 0.2 ETH straight away, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so the Metakey is giving us all these access. They're giving us airdrops. But I think something that we also did not talk about, Tony, and something that I use myself. I use their Discord group a lot. Maybe you want to show the Discord group, Tony, and just say what it looks like. Let's show our guys. It's free at the moment, guys. The Discord group's free to access. But I think later on, when the numbers grow, they might just close it down completely.
I just showed all my screens just then, but when I say at the start of the video that I kind of fell in love with Metakey to begin with, their Discord chat just provides a bit more value than the average chat. Although there's a great community, don't get me wrong, and it's very active, but they've got this section called the NFT buzz.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah,
NFT
right there,
buzz.
yeah.
Now, what Matty's done is he's hired a group of people. He's so busy that he can't keep an eye on what's happening within the industry right now. Now, if I just click on any random analysis, so what his team does is he's got a full-time dedicated agent which researches all NFTs throughout the market right now, and he gives his analysis for the bullish reasons and the bearish reasons. Now, obviously, you can see here, I just picked a random one, but this one happens to be Clone X. And
our favorite project.
Yes. But if I look at another one, I'll just pick a random one, pick this one. So this is Pepsi mic drop, and it gives us a bullish, their initial thoughts on the bullish and bearish thoughts, etc. It takes you through a bit of a concept, their momentum, their 90-day sales graph, and you can actually chat about this. It tells them the sales floor, and you can actually check back on what their calls would have been early to what their prices are now. So I kind of love going into this chat. I love to see what they're going up to right now, because at the end of the day, I don't have all the time in the world to be researching NFTs 24/7. But when I do want to see what's going on and they drop something in here, it's usually good information. Like, you got one person that is fully obsessed with researching NFTs, and he'll give us their analysis through the same kind of graph every day, every second day. 2, 3 in the day.
That's awesome. Like, Tony, it's not easy. Like, the NFT space, there's always something dropping. There's always a new NFT coming out. And to have a dedicated person who's researching, of course, I take it with a grain of salt, guys, and nothing's financial advice. Anything that, especially on our show or anywhere that you're kind of watching or reading, you should do your own homework. You know what I mean? You should really have your own narratives in your head saying, why should I buy this? And when I'm investing into something, Tony, these are some of the things that I look at. Like, I look at what does the NFT do, and what is the long-term projective of this? Because sometimes we buy NFTs, and I'm going to be very honest, when I first started buying NFTs, probably about a year ago, I bought duds. I really did buy duds. I was just like, okay, I bought this. What happens now? What happens now? Nothing. I'll tell you that. Nothing, Tony. We went to the moon, and then we landed and we crashed. So now I've changed it. So now I've changed my perception and my investing strategy, which is looking at the long-term projectives, like looking at projects that have a long projection, because the sentiment always changes and you need to be adaptable in this environment. Because if you're not adaptable, Tony, you're going to crash and burn. We should
definitely do another video on like strategies, what other people's strategies are, some of our direct stories. I've got a great rec story that I just aped into that I saw on rarity.tools. Everyone else was doing it, so I did it, and I just got absolutely bombed out. But,
really? Wow. No, we'll definitely do it. I'll tell you what, how about I get in contact with the Metakey team and see if anyone of their mods or their team members want to actually come onto our show. And maybe we did not talk about specifically, or maybe we undervalued or too overhyped this project, but hearing from them would be even better. What about that, Tony? What do you reckon about that?
That would be cool. If we can get Maddie on, anyone of the team, that would be pretty insightful.
That would, I think, hearing it from them itself would be pretty awesome, because no one's gonna say any better than themselves, because they know the project inside and out. As I said, we're just two blokes sitting talking about NFTs, why we're investing into the Metakey. I hope you found this video useful. So that is it, guys. A summary, Tony. What do you have last to say about the Metakey, and then we'll wrap it up.
I'm an investor. If you're an entry-level product, you're trying to get into something that's got some, good value behind it, and it's going to be around for a very long time. Have a look at the Metakey. Do your own research. Jump into their Discord. Talk to the members. They're very active and they're very helpful. And there's a lot of mods in there.
Awesome. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, please do like, subscribe, comment below. Whether you love or hate us, let us know. Yeah. Have a great night or day. See you later. Bye.